Hello everyone, Switch to Hoplo here. This is going to be another channel update. First of all, I'm sorry if I haven't been posted any much stories or anything on my channel. As I did mentioned in my previous channel update that I was going to take a break and so that I can be focused on doing some love stories and true friend stories. I can inform I have worked on a couple of new stories, but it won't be posted yet. I want to be sure I have at least a number of stories before can work on some new ones. And majority is going to be text and music. There are a few that is audio, but I won't say exactly what type of stories they are. This time I decided to keep it as a secret. Just want to so it's I wanted this to be a secret, but also a big surprise to everyone. I know that I usually had in the past mentioned what stories I want to that have been worked on or being currently working on. But this time I decided to make it different. I want to be a surprising it to everyone. And exactly how many stories I will be working on, that is unclear. So far I have thought maybe 12 to maybe 13 new stories, but I decided to expand that to maybe as 20 new stories. I know that many still wondering what kind of stories will I even post on my channel, but that is one thing I can't say. I am the only one who knows what stories have been done and what stories are going to be made. I know that there are pretty much many still curious to know more about this. And for another thing, I thought maybe if I would do another live stream this weekend. Exactly it was what point and what time. Well, that is uncertain yet. Since last time, the first time I made a live stream, it was in fact sometimes, well, there wasn't many viewers from that. Not saying that anyone has to watch it. But it came to me, if I would do a live stream around maybe at 1 or 2 p.m. on Swedish time, that would make it quite a little bit difficult for some of viewers from the US. Since, after all, back in the US where my girlfriend lives, around 3 p.m. for me is like 10 a.m. for her. I don't know exactly how many of my viewers are still asleep around 10 a.m. in the mornings or like that. So the only time I believe I can do like a live stream is in fact during time on perhaps around 9 to maybe 10 p.m. for my time zone. But I hadn't even decided if I will do a live stream this weekend or maybe next weekend. It depends. Of course, first of all, how I am, if I'm too tired or if I have something else become between. I know there are pretty much many other things I want to be discussing about. That, well, among the new stories I have been worked on is in fact something I came to my mind when I made in the past. I know that many have been seen or watched Bright Mag with Peer Butter in the account when I made it. Since that is in fact well, the very first official story that's from my fan made one, but still, this is the very first love story based on the main six parents. So I thought, why not to do another couple of new stories based on the main six parents, like Twilight's Applejacks, which I already done, and some among others. And unfortunately, though, I had to inform one sadly thing that, in fact, one of the sources where I get my pictures that I usually found that is fan made from Brony Boro has been decided the the people who runs the site has decided to take it down. So one of the sources of my videos are being gone, but I still have Derpy Boro and Google and DeviantArt where I can find as potential to store pictures from my stories. But what would happen if Derpy Boro would also be gone? Would that have been the end of my love stories and true friend stories? I would say no. In fact, I did actually keep in my mind, what if I could use pictures from my previous stories? I would just take a screenshot from part of the scenes where that particular character is present. Like for example, if I would do a story based on rarity, I can just go to back to the site into those stories with just rarity, and if there's like maybe a rarity with Twilight, but just an example, I would just maybe go to stories that I had both Twilight and rarity in it and put them as a one story. It's just that is in fact one of the stories I can use. I know that there are. I was well surprised when I discovered that Brony Boro was going to be taken down. Anyways, even though Google itself has plenty more, in fact, couple of several pictures, depending of course from what character you want to do. But at least I know that I can still have some sources to work on. And a smaller update that I mentioned in my previous channel update that I was going to do sort of Easter story. Actually, my girlfriend was the one who made the script, but for some reason, I cannot exactly remember exactly what caused, but she was unable to send the script to the story to me, and the script on her computer, her new laptop, was somehow erased or deleted. And she doesn't even remember how to recreate the script from the start. Don't blame her. I mean, I can even forget myself about that. So, even I first thought, should I just forget to make an Easter story? And I say, no. So, if she can't can remember her story, that is okay for with me. I mean, as long as she doesn't even have to be blamed for. Sometimes, as computers can be, well, pain in the butt. I almost say it. So I decided to do the script myself. But this time it won't be as a long story. No. Like the previous stories on like the Valentine's Day or Christmas story like that, there will be almost like a bit short Easter story. But the only thing I can mention of what it's going to be about is Trixie and Starlight have been asked by Twilight to be taking care of Easter. That is all I can mention about that story. I know that there are many more stories that I've been asked to do. And trust me, I have hundreds, nearly 300 stories on my email, but I don't mention that. And I know that many still curious to know which stories I'm going to be working on next, and those stories has already been made, but my lips are sealed. I won't spell or say a word about any of those stories. Even though that many still wonders, would probably ask me, but yeah. So, for an even smaller update about that, I'm still working on some news stories. I am just complete one news story, but exactly which one, I won't say. Sorry. That's because this is what I am doing now, right now. But considering how many stories that has been asked to me, I decided not to be doing any of those stories that being requested. For at least for time being, I just want to be able to work on some stories I had been put on hold for quite a while. But the stories that like Regan Hollis had asked me to do for Shine Celestia, that will still be made, and the one with Side Twilight with Fluttershy will still be made. It's just at the point I hadn't even really decided exactly yet though, but I really, really hope for soon. Anyways, and also to mention, like my previous story, the video of my channel update, I did mention that I also probably want to do some sort of interview story series. I can inform that idea seems to be more likely to happen probably in some time, maybe in the summer. But it came to me. If you would be able to have to be part of this, you may add either had you don't have to use a camera if you don't want to show your face. But if you want to just talk in mic, that works perfectly for me as well. I mean, I don't force anyone to be showing their face. No. But the only thing I would only to put when I actually ask a person, well, that particular person, if they want to be part of the story, this interview, I will then make a video, post the link for an invite only for the person that doesn't want to be interviewed. Otherwise, if others would join, well, that will be difficult since I only want to focus on one person at a time. So I will either invite the person directly from YouTube on the video in the description, or if the person has Facebook, I could even send an invite there also. So the person would have to add me as a friend request on Facebook, so I could send the request there or the link to the site where to be interviewed. Of course, this is only freely, voluntarily, if you want to be interviewed. And of course, it only be is friendly comment. But I can also add, it might even not only be an interview, but it also will be some sort of conversation. Just to get to know the person perhaps more without asking the questions. I could probably ask anyone who wants to be interviewed. As long as you're willing to be interviewed, of course. That's all I'm saying. So, but yeah, that's probably all I want to say in this story though. This update version for now. But I still going to work on new stories, and I will even do some new reviews of comic dubs. And wow, that has been a while since I made that one happen. That I certainly say that is a long time. So if there are videos popping up on my channel, they are likely to be reviews of comic dubs or perhaps even some episodes or maybe something else. But no love stories or true friend stories after a while. I just want to know the stories peacefully and have enough time. Trust me, making one story can take a while. And but yeah, that's all I want to say. Stay safe and still, and like I mentioned, if anyone would be interested to be interviewed by me, always leave that in the comment section below if you're willing to be interviewed by me. Of course, that series might even be cancelled if I don't even have anyone who doesn't want to be interviewed. But of course, like I said, is willing for anyone who wants to. That's all I want to say. Done in one done. Stay safe, and I do hope that everyone are having a great time still, despite what's going on around the world. But anyways, this is Sushi Tablo, over and out.